जय श्री गुरुदेवाय नमः। ओम जय श्री गणेशाय नमः। Hello everyone. I wish all of you are healthy, happy, improving on the path of yoga, gaining balance to your inner self, being unite and aware, getting chance to know your own self more. Is the day 10. The day 10 practice will be the same as the day 9. So you need to run the same routine as the day 9. Because day 11 onwards we'll start shoulder stand sequence, so you need little bit workout, little bit more flexibility of your spine. So run day 8, day 9, and make sure you are practicing twice a day. Make sure you are doing 2 rounds of Surya Namaskar, salute to the sun, asana, the pose. Make sure you properly practice the Trikonas. The triangle pose, it restores and improves the flexibility of the spine, and then shoulder stand will require it. Then with the help of Surya Namaskar, the sun salutation also, you can improve and melt all the stiffness, raise the heat. Surya Namaskar means salutation to the sun. But the sun which is within you means your third chakra, or I can say lower 3 chakras. The unity, the balance, the improvement, the channeling of the energy into your lower 3 chakras, into your basic nature. So when you practice salute to the sun, it kind of releases, it kind of balances your lower 3 chakras and gives you ability, give you flexibility, runs the energy equally into entire of your body. So do practice that, then do the proper breathing, anulom vilom, side by side, prana balancing, and then your om chanting japa on the path of yoga is like a center key which works. See, asanas works directly to the body, to the mind. Pranayama works to the body and to your inner self. And mantra works with your mind and soul. So when your body, your energy is tuned, then your intellect, then your mind, then your chitta, the conscious, need to improve. The mantra is the key to that. So when you are doing proper chanting, when you are doing your japa, when you are flowing with the vibes or the vibrations of the sound with your third eye, it kind of liberates you. It kind of takes you higher from any circumstances and condition with your intellect, mind and chitta. That's why it is called mantra. Man means the mind, the conscious, the chitta, the intellect, and tara means getting beyond. So the mantra. Today I'm going to talk about 8 limbs of yoga in detail. In my last lecture, when I was talking about Ashtanga Yoga, 8 limbs of yoga, now more deep into that. As for Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the principle of yoga by Patanjali, the Bible of yoga. This scripture is the Bible of yoga. In English translation, if you want to get this book, it is 4 chapter on freedom, publication of Bihar School of Yoga. It's one of the best translation to understand for the practitioner. In Sadhan Path, in chapter 2, in Sadhan Path, Sadhan means the tool. Patanjali describes the ultimate tool of practicing yoga is the 8 limbs. Those 8 limbs are actually categorized step by step progressive steps for any ordinary being to achieve to the nirvana, the moksha, the ultimate understanding or transformation. The first yam, the first limb on the path of Ashtanga Yoga is called Yama. Yama, as per Hindu mythology, is the god of that, is the power, is the god which kills, which takes you away from your body. Yama. In Patanjali, the Yama means social discipline. Under this category, there are 5 different code of conduct, 5 different points he mentions, and in that, number 1 is ahimsa. Ahimsa means the practice of non-violence as a basic nature. All the living beings, not only human beings, but all the living beings, they have a hidden protecting sense. Means wherever an individual being feel insecure, feel threatened or fear, it comes into a protected mode, and out of this protected mode, it creates the violence. On the path of yoga, this is the first level where you need to work. This is the first point. This is the first thing about your own self to work. That's the practice of non-violence. Practicing of non-violence, directly hitting somebody, hurting or destroying somebody is a sin. But it's not about outer self only, it's about your inner self also. Most of the time, out of our anger, lust, desire, emotions, or excess of our attachment, we integrate many suffering for our joy, suffering for our desire, suffering for our lust, suffering for our insecurity, suffering for our fear. We create certain kind of pressure surrounding into our own self, and we kind of torture ourselves. So violence on the path of yoga is that you bring that kind of understanding, that kind of ability, that you don't get frustrated, you don't get violent, you don't get scared, worry about any circumstances. On the path of yoga, they give example in the scriptures. Let's say you are trying to unlock a lock. You are approaching with your key to it and it is stuck. You may do it once, you may do it twice, you may do it thrice, you may do it fourth. And after fourth, you may find that there is something changing in you. If you are very aware, if you are on the yogic path, you will find that wow. Because something which is fixed, what you want to do, it's not happening as you want to do. Suddenly, your inner self start modifying. Why? Because of out of your desire and your wish, what you were trying to do. Now that particular lock, technically, there is some problem and stuck. But after 5 or 6 try, automatically you will find that your energy start changing. You start saying, oh my God, and then the words comes, and then you may even kick it and break it. There is a technical problem which is into the lock, not into your mind, not into your intellect. But because you want to open the lock and it's not opening, So due to this desire, due to this affection of you, your inner self is changing. That is how the violence approaches to ourselves. Nowadays, the device, mobile, the phone is the ultimate device to integrate many suffering, many desires and many joys. You are trying to do a work, it can be any work, very important, watching a movie, doing something, and it does not function properly. Now, as desirable you are, as connected you are, as deeply you want to do that, that deeply it will affect you. And you all must have experienced it, that how easily we get affected. We are not maybe fighting to anyone, but this violence, this anger, that frustration is raising in us. And it remains there. Sometimes we don't even notice, and it remains there. It gets stored layer by layer, layer by layer, and then suddenly into certain conditions and situations, we blast. When we blast, it kind of runs out and it destroys in our life many of our connection and relationship. And later on, when we sit into the corner, we realize, oh my God, it was not that big as I reacted. So the violence, ahimsa, the practice of ahimsa is very essential, because if you are practicing yoga, if you want to meditate, you want to go calm, you want to go securely in, you want to dive in, but you are scared, you are worried, you had just argued, you had just words with somebody, and then you come back to home and want to meditate. More than that person, you will find that you are affected by your own words. That's how the violence kind of destroys your inner balance of the energy, and it creates the guilt, it creates the impurities and imbalance. That's why the Patanjali, the saint, put the number one thing on the path of yoga, right where you're starting the yoga. Number one is yama. Yama means social discipline, and ahimsa is the number one point there, the practice of non-violence. So check your behavior, watch yourself, witness your own self, that is your desires, is your lust, is your hopes, is your wishes kind of ruling you, getting you into the violence? If they are, then work out. The manner to do this, to practice the non-violence, is to let go. What your condition is, even that lock you was trying to unlock, if it is not functioning on that particular moment, let go. Learn to give up. Immediate let go. Maybe give half an hour, 1 hour. Let your mind, your soul, yourself get busy into something easy. Maybe go for a walk. Maybe talk to the nature. Maybe relax. Maybe give a deep smile. Maybe intellectually understand that no, whatever the circumstances or situation is which is irritating, forcing, not fully fulfilling your that particular moment's wish, is outside of you, not inside of you. And you are not gonna influence, you are not gonna allow it to influence your inner self. And then reapproach. Like this, you can practice ahimsa, practice of non-violence. Then number second point under the category of social discipline is called truthfulness, satya. The practice of satya means truthfulness. On the path of yoga, this is very essential, the practicing the truthfulness. For your basic benefits basic desire, profit, you lie million times to anyone. Your boss is sitting inside. He just said, hey, if any call comes, just tell them that I am not there. And you feel very proud. Wow, boss gave me a duty. Though he's sitting right in front of you, the call comes and he says, no, boss is not here. You are lying. On the path of yoga, it is not allowed. Either you tell your boss that no, you are not gonna lie that you are not here. Instead of that, you may say that the boss is not in mood to talk. He cannot attend the call right now. Or you will tell your boss that he may appoint somebody else. He may get annoyed, but this will be the first and last chance, because he will realize, he will get trained about you that you are the person who don't like to lie. So he will not give you this duty. See, when you are on the yogic path, you have to train your surrounding. It is your duty also to train your surrounding, that who you are, what is your path, what is your wisdom, how you lead your life. So the common people, they are trained, they know what to hope from you and what not to hope from you. Like in the night, when you are sleeping, anybody calls and even knock on your door and you don't open, they don't mind it, because they know you are sleeping. Why it is? Because they know in the night everybody is sleeping. So the world is trained in this particular situation, so they don't mind. But in daytime, if they call or if they come to your door and they knock and you don't open, then they mind it. They say, I came, I called twice, 10 times, but you did not attend my call, you are ignoring me. But in the night they won't say this. Same way you have to train for your truthfulness to the world. Now, yoga goes little further on the truthfulness. Yoga says, when you speak truth, your truth should be life-saving, life-protecting. Means not hurting somebody by speaking the truth. Suppose, let's say you see somebody is in front of your eyes who is very ugly, very nasty, or maybe handicapped. So what you are seeing, and if you call that particular person, hey ugly or hey handicapped, you are kind of hurting. You are kind of disturbing their peace of mind because of their certain situation or physical situation or mental situation. This you should learn from the doctors. See, the doctors, they knows the certain of your disease is killing you. You may not be there tomorrow. You may die. But doctor will never come and tell you, hey, you are dying tomorrow. He will always say, don't worry, relax. We are working. You be fine. Why? See, he is lying in one way, because his knowledge saying that you won't make it to tomorrow. But he is still saying, no, it will be fine. We are working. So in one way he is lying. But why he is lying? Because if he says, hey, tomorrow you are dying, instead of dying tomorrow out of fear, you may die today. So what he is doing, he is saving, he is protecting the life one more day. Same way, your truthfulness should be life protecting, respecting. If somebody is horny, somebody is ugly, and you say, hey ugly, come here, you are hurting, then it is not the truth, it is the poison. So life protecting manner of talking using your tongue. Not just because of your basic desire or wishes or profit or benefits. Don't lie for the materialistic stuff, lie for life protecting. So make sure how you use your tongue. So the truthfulness. This is number 7. These two, ahimsa, satya, these two are the essential ground. Yamas, all the 5 points of yamas are actually the ground, making the ground for your yogic training. Then after yama, after truthfulness, we go to asteya. Asteya means practice of non-stealing. This is really important. because due to ignorance, we all kind of steal from each other. On the path of yoga, non-stealing is very essential practice, because it's not about something is yours without informing somebody. You take somebody's stuff, materialistic stuff, that is seen anyway, because maybe no one will notice what you did, but when you will see that particular stuff in front of your eyes, your inner self, your intellect will tell you that how you got it, and that will create the guilt, and that guilt is enough to take you off from your yogic wisdom, because each time when this certain biological changes comes into our body and creates the stage of the guilt, we kind of block many of our possibilities, we kind of get detached from many of our pure energies. So the guilt. So direct stealing is of course sin, but misuse of your power, yoga goes little deep, little more strong onto any points. So according to the yoga, asteya means misuse of your any power. Suppose you are a millionaire, you have plenty of money, you can buy, you can have any stuff of the world, and I am giving you example of apple. Suppose you like the apples and you need every day one apple to eat, but because you are millionaire, you can support any price of the apple, and you have plenty of money, so you are, instead of buying one apple a day, you are storing boxes upon boxes. Yes, it's your money, you can use it, but what you are doing here, you are stealing from others. In which way? Because others, they cannot support this crazy rate, the price of the apple, but because you have plenty of money, you don't care about the price and you are storing. So what you are doing here, you are kind of stealing from the people, those cannot support that particular price or the cost of the apples because of their lack of the finance, but you have enough, you are storing. So you are kind of indirectly stealing. So you are misusing your buying power. In the same way, your political, social, intellectual, any power, when you misuse and kind of distract others' peace, you are stealing their peace. So yoga demands that pay attention, that none of your behavior should go under the category of stealing. You practice the asteya. Asteya means non-stealing. Maybe you are so beautiful, and then you go to you are a millionaire, you wear a pretty dress and everything, and you go to a party and you get everybody's attraction towards you. What you are doing? Yes, you are beautiful, it's your right to enjoy and to be like that, but then even you are doing this certain kind of activities to gain the attention of everyone, which is kind of making others insecure, means you are stealing their attention from their beloved one to you. So on the path of yoga, the living, the life is very simple, that more than anything, you kind of watch, you kind of witness, you kind of keep track on your own behavior, that your own behavior should not distract, should not cause any negativities or any karma which can affect your own peace. So practice of asteya, non-stealing. After the practice of asteya, the category comes brahmacharya, means practicing the celibacy, being celibate, means non-sensual activities. Now non-sensual activities, the brahmacharya, not only not doing sex, means not only one thing. Sensual means all your five senses. You be master. You don't be kind of a ruled, mad dog of your senses. No. You be the master of your senses. So none of your senses is bringing or exploiting your inner peace or inner purity. So the brahmacharya on the path of yoga is very essential to protect your inner purity, not allowing somebody's or external world or some external energy to influence your inner self. Basically, entire your suffering in your life, entire your pain in your life, entire your attachment in your life, it's because of your senses. Your senses are the only tool, only possibilities to integrate any pain, any suffering into your life. If you can master them with the practice of brahmacharya, with the practice, with the help of being celibate, you will find that much of your pain or almost every of your pain is gone. So all your sensual means watch your senses. When yoga talks about senses, it don't only talks about 5 senses, it talks about 11 senses. Basically, you may know only 5 senses: eye, smell, or I'll say eye, nose, ear, tongue and skin. But according to the yoga, they are 11. So eye means seeing, nose and smelling, tongue and tasting, ear and hearing, skin and feeling, and among these, the boss of them, mind. Because these senses, they works under the mind. They kind of coordinate each other. Mind to senses, senses to mind. And that's how all your being till today, all what you understand about yourself is because of your senses. And the understanding through the senses is not permanent, but it's full of ego, full of ignorance, and full of suffering. And then that mind, till the 11 is still okay, if you understand that it's all my mind. But when this mind start minding the next transformation of that particular energy, minding, then it becomes the problem. So mind and minding. So I'll say all 11 senses. You be very aware that what you are seeing, what you are understanding. Your eyes seeing something, your mind is understanding something else. Why it's happening? Because according to your inner perspective, the outer self is bringing that particular essence and activating that energy into you. So basically, all your suffering, all your joy, all your desire is through your senses to your mind, and then from your mind to intellect. And once intellect is influenced, affected, then your entire life is affected. So brahmacharya, the practice of being celibate, means being pure. Celibacy means the person who is totally aware of the suffering and suffering through the senses. So who is master, honor. Brahm means divine, and acharya means the honor, the master of divine behavior is brahmacharya. So the practice of brahmacharya means not being ruled by the senses like a common being. On the path of yoga, you are the master of your own behavior. So you watch, you know when and what and how much you need to use your senses. This is number 4. And then aparigraha. Aparigraha is very essential, means practice of not collecting, not covetousness. Aparigraha means not collecting, not storing unnecessary stuff, materialistic stuff. Of course, you need to survive here, so whatever you need to survive, you will store, but unnecessary, like in Western world, I had seen when I was in America that almost every home, they have a garage. And more than they have in their home, they have in garage. Their garage is full of boxes. I don't know what they are storing on them, but full of boxes. And whenever they have a time, more than they enjoy their lobby, they enjoy their, I will say, the peaceful corner of their home, they go into their garage to take care. Maybe rat is destroying something, maybe moisture is getting dumped. And see, unwanted materialistic stuff because of somebody's souvenir, because somebody left it. Oh, this belongs to my grandfather, grandmother, this belongs to my. This is like collecting the negativity. On the path of yoga, you kind of live a life of detachment. You don't want everyone, whosoever you want to, you are in love and you want to keep them with you, keep them in with your prayers, not in the form of materialistic stuff. Instead of keeping them, they are dumped in a box. If you don't want to use it, give it to somebody else who really need it, so he may use it, keep it alive, and thanks you. Because whenever he will see that particular stuff, they will pray for you. They will know how it came, and you will be right behind there, and they will pray for it. So it will create more positive energy. So aparigraha, the practice of non-covetousness, not collecting the materialistic stuff unnecessarily. These five are the social disciplines on the path of yoga. In the traditional system, yoga only start from yama. Means before they give you any further training on the path of yoga, they always tells you to practice at least for 6 months the aparigraha. Practice at least 6 months yama. Yama means social disciplines. Means they give you certain kind of situation and condition to see your behavior, to merge your inner leaks into the higher transformation, where you understand the social connection and you detach. You become more aware to your inner self. You kind of releases your attachment towards or from the social world, then only the yoga. So today, the yama. Next lecture I will talk about niyama, the personal discipline. Next limb. With my prayers, keep your practice. Keep running your routine. The next class, next routine of asanas will be little more strong when we are practicing shoulder stand and furthermore. So my prayer, Hari Om.